Hi there! Welcome to my channel. My name's Alyna, and I'm a life coach, therapist, and sustainable style coach. And today I'm helping you create a to-do list that sucks less with 7 easy tips to help you get stuff done. Number 1 is to play by the numbers. I recommend doing no more than 7 items on your to-do list. And of those items, only a couple, like 2 to 3, are hard or medium, and the rest are going to be easier tasks. For those of you that like to color code, you can do something like orange for the hard task, yellow for the medium task, or green for the easy task. That way you can get a visual representation of what is doable for you that day and kind of what you have on your plate. The next task is to make a to-do list that's doable. A lot of times we put something on our to-do list that isn't actually an action item. Like if it doesn't have a verb in it, it's probably not something you can get done. So making sure that there's both a verb in there and it's specific. So you're not going to just say something like organize closet. You're going to say something like organize jeans or put shirts in color order. Whatever that might be, making it very specific and measurable. That way you can actually have something to get done. If you don't do that, you can end up with an item on your to-do list for days and days. I know for myself, I had one on my to-do list for a while that was to organize and clean out my closet. That just was a really big and kind of scary thing to get done in a day. And it took a lot of time and energy. And so it just kept getting pushed off into the next day. Now, here's the key for this number 2 tip. You can also make the obstacles to getting that done part of the to-do list. So what I did was I identified that I would have been helpful to have a friend to do that with me. So on the to-do list, I put contact friend and schedule a date that she can come by and help me go through my closet. See, those barriers to getting stuff done can be yet another thing to put on the list to break it down and make it more doable. Number 3 is to estimate the time and energy that each item is going to take, and then get that into a calendar to see if it's actually doable for you. So, for example, you may have something that takes about an hour, and that's fine. But once you add up all the 7 items and how much time and energy that's going to take you, it may be more hours than you have in a day. And so that's clearly not doable. At that point, you can kind of see what needs to go onto another day or what you just need to cut from your schedule to make it so that you can actually get things done. Another tip here is to actually schedule in those breaks and make sure your breaks are walking breaks. If you have one of your to-do list items where you have to really focus for hours sitting in a chair, your mind might get a break from scrolling through social media or whatnot, but you need to get your body up and get your body moving so it gets a break from sitting for hours on end. The next tip, number 4, is to start easy and work your way up to the harder tasks. Once you do those easier ones, your ball gets rolling and you start to feel like, oh, look at me, checking items off my to-do list. That feels good. That feels awesome. And your motivation increases to where you feel more awake and more alert and more motivated to get the harder or medium tasks done that might be to the middle or later in your day. And if you know you're a night owl and you work best at night, letting yourself do those harder tasks in the evening, that's totally fine. The next one is to really focus on what it is that matters most to you to increase your motivation. So, for the closet, for instance, I really value donating clothes to something like a women's domestic violence shelter. I really value time with my friends. So, I really try to take the item and connect it to whatever I think makes my life more meaningful or valuable to keep my motivation up about doing the item. Some items, there might be like 6 degrees of separation between that item and something you value, but that's okay. Identify what that is and try to make that separation a little bit closer. It might be grocery shopping for the family. You can kind of think about the joy on your kids' faces when you get that meal completed and how much they look forward to those leftovers. So you can really start to make it a little bit more meaningful, and that increases your motivation to get it done. The next one is to recognize your accomplishments. Give yourself some credit. A lot of times when we're kids or we're even in high school, we get all these grades and we get these certificates and we get stars and we get pizza parties when we get stuff done that we're supposed to get done. And when we're adults, a lot of that just stops. There's no pizza party for me getting any basic thing on my to-do list done. I mean, I guess money sometimes is a motivation, but not everything gets you money. If anything, a lot of the items on your to-do list might be you spending a little bit of money. So you might as well give yourself some credit for the work that you're doing to motivate yourself into the next day. What that might look like is, let's say I got 4 items out of the 7 done today. I write down for myself, you did this, you did that, you did this well. I'm really proud of you for what you did with that one. I know that was really hard, but you stuck it out. So writing it down for yourself or talking to a friend, to a neighbor, whomever it is that you get to connect with in that day and kind of tell them when they say, how was your day? Actually listening to them, what you did well, what you feel proud of or accomplished on your to-do list, because that'll give you that motivation to get it done the next day instead of just focusing on what you didn't get done, which is what most of us do. Let's be real. So working really hard to do the opposite of what our brain naturally wants to do, which is focus on the negatives. Okay, last but not least, number 7 is to start from scratch on your to do list. Instead of letting the items just snowball into the next day and be yet another thing to add to that list where it's just growing and growing out of control and then it's so overwhelming you can't get things done, start from scratch and pull the things that you're going to do for that day and write them down or put them in an app. I prefer to use Google Keep for my to-do list items, and then I can transfer those very seamlessly right into Google Calendar. So that's how I do it, but I know some of you like bullet journaling and things like that, and that's totally cool. Keep it colorful, keep it you, but make sure you're starting from scratch and not just carrying over the snowball from the day before and overwhelming yourself. All right, so those are my 7 tips for a better to-do list. If you have any questions or you have any requests for videos about productivity, about life, whatever it might be, go ahead and put a suggestion or a question in the comments, and I will do my best to do a video or to address whatever you're asking. And make sure to subscribe to my channel, whichever side it might be on, and that red button there so you can see when I come out with more videos about productivity, about life, about style, whatever it might be. I'm sure I have a video for you.